Holy mother of exercise. It looks like I've made it to almost alive. He's almost alive. Almost alive. Kind of. I am a butter-soaked Stargate chocolate-infused banana bread burn and learn. Boy, that is definitely the title to go with. I've got to say, I'm quite proud of that. Quite proud of that. I got to mute that. I've got to I got to pop out my chat. Mittens, how are you? I got to pop out the chat. Pop it out. Here we go. So I can see that. I can then stop that. And let's have a look at our little Discord, folks, shall we? Not Discord. Oh, God, I get so confused. What do I need? I need Twitch, don't I? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the Twitch chat. Oh, the Twitch chat's in there. What am I doing? Oh, my God. Fiddle. Okay. Jonathan, how the frack are you? Marco, Tita, Candy, Paranoid, Badger, still paranoid, I see. And Sandra is still very casual. That's good to know. Okay, I do not want to do this. Stop trying to run that. I've got too many things running on this damn computer. It's Sunday. Moderating a charity stream, so I can't say what I want to say. Hi, Rebel Time Lady. What's your charity stream? It has been a good weekend. It's a Burn and Learn time. This is the Burn and Learn. This is a Sunday Burn and Learn. I'm about to go to a concert, but I had to gloat. I seriously had to gloat because I've just done 30 straight days on what I call the R2C2, on this Concept 2 rowing machine thing. Again, no affiliates I bought it with my own money at my own peril and loathed every minute of it because it's exercise. But a full month on that now. So I had to, go online and trump my own trumpet or whatever the hell it's called. Also just exhausted. Got to do some sleeping. Sleeping would be very useful to me right now. Is it bad that the first thing I think of when I wake up is, when do I get to sleep? Been up to a bunch of stuff. I've had a lot of fun recently. I've been playing with, I'm trying to set the laser up to do some cutting with the laser. I'm trying it on the small machine before I move it to Jonathan's big CNC, because I want to do some sort of larger scale laser cutting stuff. And it's pretty interesting, although my wife is a little alarmed by my latest Amazon, wish list, order list, because it's fire extinguishers, fire blankets, protective glasses, and respirators. That's my list of to be bought on Amazon next. So she's a little concerned about that. So I should tell everyone, this is a Burn and Learn. This is my bit to stay alive and fit long enough to raise my amazing son, Sebastian, who's basically already raised and basically raising himself at this point, and to enjoy my retirement years, what are they called? My golden years with my fabulous and brilliant wife, Jane, and unfortunately a dog as well, and a gecko, who's a lot of fun to have around. I thought it would be a good idea if I exercise, but I hate exercise. And I do enjoy complaining, though, so I thought I'd complain about it a lot. And what I try to do, because I feel like I'm wasting my life when I'm exercising, which I know is a stupid thing, but I can't get my head around it. It just feels like a waste of freaking time whenever I'm on these stupid torture devices, whether it's the old elliptical machine, which I guess I should probably give up if I'm going to commit to this rowing machine. I think it may be time. Sorry, old girl. It may be time to let the elliptical go. I don't know. What does one do with old elliptical machines? I guess I could try selling it. It's just so heavy. Like it weighs more than I do. And it's been great. And I wonder maybe one day I'll go back to, I was torn on that. Anyways, point being is, I've just been really sort of committed to doing this exercise stuff, but the waste of time that I get from it, I've tried to counter by doing some learning while I'm doing it. So right now, I finished a couple of books in the meantime. Obviously, I've been doing this for like a month. There's a bunch of books that I've plowed through in the time. Some I preferred more than others. I quite enjoyed this Critical Thinking for Scientists book, which I'm going to try to find the title for you. I think it's very good. There's another one that I had just listened to that I found was a little bit more, I don't know, it just spoke to me a little bit better. This one seemed a little bit, I don't know, it was a little name droppy, shall we say. All right, let me find out what the name of these things are for you, so I can talk to you all about it. History of higher psychology, understanding genetics, skepticism 101, how to think like a scientist. Michael Shermer. Yeah, I mean, and it's a great course. I mean, it's a lot of interesting stuff. I think it would probably been a better course. I probably would have enjoyed it more if I hadn't just got through this fabulous one that I recommend to everyone to listen to, which is, I'm going to tell you, nope, not that one, not that one, not that. God, I've got a lot of stuff in here. Oh my God. I got a lot of listening to do. There's a lot of stuff that I've started and the one I love is it's called The Deceptive Mind. I'm going to try to find the actual name of it here. Enlightenment Signals. No. Where the hell are you? Is it near it's going to be the last one. You wait. The other one wasn't. This one will be the last one that I get to. No, we don't have it in here. That's so weird. Anyways, what I'm listening to right now, I've just started, and oh my God, it's a page turner. If you're into the cybersecurity stuff, this book called Pegasus by Laurent Richard and Sandrine Rigaud. I can't really read it; it's too far away. Oh, nope. There you go. That's a little sample for you. It's extraordinary. I mean, I've been fascinated by this Pegasus software, which is a spyware that's supposedly untraceable spyware that can be placed on any device, basically, and will listen in and you can control the cameras and can control microphones and just completely take control of this thing. I can't find the name of this thing that I was looking into, but it was that I was listening to that I loved. But it's basically called The Deceptive Mind, and it's all about critical thinking, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's one of the great courses. Amazing stuff, and it also has led to a bunch of other books that I'm looking into as well. You know, of course, like classics like the Carl Sagan's book, which is called The Demon Haunted World, which has some. I've quoted it a few times because I'm blown away by it. But just this idea of like, what is the tool set we need to start being smart about what we consider to be the truth, and how things work. So absolutely check that one out. I'm sorry I can't find the name of it. It's so bizarre. I must have deleted it after I read it, or I don't know what's gone wrong there. It's just so weird. I feel like I've screwed something up on my Audible and managed to get rid of stuff that I'm sure I probably didn't want to. I'll have to go back and get it to reload everything. Yeah, and again, as I say, the Michael Shermer Skepticism 101 is pretty great too. It's just I think, having just listened to this amazing one, this Deceptive Mind one, it's kind of hard to beat that. And just plow through one more time in the hopes of finding it for you, because I kind of want to give credit where credit's due here. It really is. It's just a great book. No, almost there. This got to be in here somewhere. It's so weird. I don't know what I've done wrong. How have I managed to delete it? I liked it so much I had to delete it so no one else could enjoy it too. I'm the only person who will know how to do critical thinking now. Yeah, it's really not in here. That is really very strange. Okay. Or maybe it's just a book that I just don't recognize at all. All titles. It's all there, but for some reason it's just not in there. Yeah, Deceptive Mind. Check it out. The great course is absolutely fantastic. And then this C2, let's go back to the R2C2, as I call it. I did some research on what another approach to exercise could be for me, because the elliptical is getting a bit tiring. Well, they're all tiring, trust me. It was just, I felt like I was doing 45 minutes of basically walking on the elliptical machine and then having to walk this freaking mud around for another 45 minutes. So a couple times a day. And I just felt like, my legs are just like, I just don't want to deal with any more walking. So I thought I'd mix it up a bit. And I looked into a bunch of different things. And the one that sort of caught my attention was this rowing machine. So I am now, 30 days into that. And I feel it. I definitely feel it. Like, it doesn't, unlike the elliptical where I just felt, I don't know, I definitely felt fitter doing the elliptical on a regular basis. The rowing machine, I feel more uncomfortably fit, if that makes sense. Just things hurt more than they did before. At some point I got to figure out eating, because that's something I seem to just have not mastered. I was talking to someone today, actually a couple of days ago, about this. There's some kind of an app in England that she was working with that had a blood glucose or a glucose monitor on as part of it, and it would track what you ate, and you would document what you ate, and it would tie it to your blood sugar levels, and then you'd even do things like send in a stool sample and stuff, and they would analyze it, and it sounded, kind of geeky. I wouldn't want to have that job, I got to say. I may be looking for jobs, but that probably is not the job for me. That is a part of the whole process of getting fitter that I should probably master at some point. And everyone's got advice. It basically comes down, I understand this, you just need to burn more than you eat. And that sometimes is hard. And sugary drinks are a big thing for me. That's why I like these little bubbly things, because there's no sugar in them. They'll probably find out they're highly carcinogenic in the next 10 years. That's usually what happens. But I'm going to drink it now because I'm really thirsty. Delicious. What other exciting things do I have to tell you? So, yeah, the Pegasus book. If you want to hop on and start listening to that, it's great fun. Terrifying fun in a way. Everything from the cartels that are using it in Mexico, politicians in Mexico, obviously Israel. There's a number of pretty creepy governments and organizations that are using this software to spy on people in the most, in a complete fashion. This stuff allows you to track where people are, what they're saying, who they're talking to, who they're meeting with, read all of their texts. It's have their bio signs. Literally everything. You put a pair of of Apple headphones on, and they can track your heart rate and God knows what else with that. If your phone is hacked, or you have a malicious actor, I always like the term that, like bad actors. I like to think of myself as a malicious actor more than a bad actor. If you get something like this on your phone, and you're being targeted by your government of any sort, you're screwed, and so is everyone who's connected to you. So obviously there are governments and organizations that are very interested in pursuing this stuff, and there's also obviously hackers and stuff that would take an interest in it as well. So I love all that. I've always been fascinated by that stuff. So this book is definitely fueling my paranoia and getting me very excited about what's out there. And what is out there? Let me tell you. I went to the film festival to see a friend of mine, Seth Worley, who is this absolutely brilliant, lovely giant of a man who does gorgeous short films and visual effects, and he's been sort of a part of this YouTube community and the VFX community for years, doing just the most wonderful stuff. He also does a bunch of writing tools, literally like a process for writing based on. It's kind of loosely based on the Save the Cat, this concept of a story clock where, something happens here, and then so you should have a counter thing happening here. It's like a formula for writing scripts. A formula you could, based on the formula, and then obviously, and then change it. But it's just great for getting stuff down. I've used it a few times just to jot ideas. When I get random ideas for a film or a little story or something, I'll throw them in this clock format, and it just helps sort of organize it in my bag of squirrels brain. So had a really wonderful weekend with my friend Aaron and Chad and who came up to see this film that he has at the film festival called Sketch. And we saw it, and it's absolutely wonderful and beautiful. And we had this extraordinary family chat about it afterwards, which is just one of the joys that if you're a parent, you understand where your kid has engaged in something and wants to discuss it. And so it was just kind of great that Baz and his friend were talking about this film that a friend of ours had made and talking about both the filmmaking parts of it and the character parts of it and these wonderful monsters in this film. Like they're just some of the, what did he call it? He said it was like it was like a combination of Stranger Things meets Inside Out, like, or, I can't remember if that was the terminology used for it, but it's just this very strange little film. Keep an eye out for it. I think you'll really enjoy it. Seth Worley, and it's called Sketch. So definitely go and see that and let me know if you did. And if you want to go check out Seth's stuff online, there's a bunch of, check out Red Giant. Maxon has bought them now. So there's a bunch of they may be being rebranded, but he's just done some amazing short films. You can sort of like fuel up on all these beautiful short films that he's done. And these were short films that were basically paid content. So he was working for this company that makes visual effects software, and they needed to have, and Aaron was a big part of this as well. Rabinowitz, who's another just like pioneer in this stuff, and this wonderful gaggle of strange and fabulous VFX people that they surround themselves with. Action Hero Dad, I think it's called Action Dad, something like that. Just these wonderful people who do these extraordinary work, and they just love what they do, and they make these little short films that were designed to sell the tools that made these VFX. So basically, they just really wanted like a show reel of all the stuff that you could do with these visual effects. But Seth and Aaron and others got together and used it as a way of telling these wonderful little stories that, yes, showed off all the effects, but at the same time told a very sort of engaging and personal and fun sort of action stories or sci-fi stories or whatever. So you should definitely go check that out. Go check out Red Giant for that. They've got some just wonderful stuff. Or just look up Seth Worley. You'll find a bunch of stuff. Or Aaron Rabinowitz for that matter, because Aaron's now working at School of Motion, where they can teach you how to do all this stuff. So you should go check that out as well. And a big shout out to Winbush there. Winbush is my new favorite instructor who teaches for School of Motion, and just is just this wonderful personality, and also just great at explaining how these crazy complex programs work and how to use them. So definitely go check that out. Looking great. Good to hear from you. Thank you very much. Mork the Orc. Oh my God, I'm going back. That takes me back a little ways. Nanu. Wow, I can't believe I actually didn't miss the stream for once. Well, I'm glad, Lumen. I'm glad you could join us. Gimpy G, bored with walking. Is this a wheelchair burn thing? Yes, exactly. I'm just really just trying to make your life a little bit more miserable, Lance. I could do a big shout out to Cal as well if she's in there. I don't know if what she's doing this weekend, but Cal's often there looking after me, and so I'll say thank you to her as well. I should check in on my Twitch. What else we got there? Chocolate banana bread. I know it's a particularly yummy title today, isn't it? I always like to come up with something that sounds wildly unhealthy and yet delicious at the same time. I was going to name it like something about the Concept 2 rowing machine, but it just seemed too, I don't know, it seemed like it was too self-help for there. Gotta go already. Happy Sunday, y'all. Dr. N, PhD. Welcome, and I'm sorry I missed you. I was looking at the wrong chat. I'm dying to talk to Dr. N, PhD at some point. I want to get him and Jim the Evo together again and discuss some biotech stuff. That'd be kind of wonderful. First time chat from FB3 Playhouse Rodney. Yes, I do respond to that name sometimes. Ooh, great ad for Bubbly now. I'm thirsty. Yeah, isn't it? Like, no affiliate. This stuff is, I drink it like water because that's sort of what it is. And like I say, I can't talk for too long because I've got to get ready and drag my son off to go see a concert, which should be interesting. I go to the gym once a week, walk in the pool, then sit in the hot tub for an hour because I'm 67. Good for you, Lincoln S. Stern. At least you walk to the damn gym. I can't do gyms. I just can't do. I don't like. I think I'm just too self-conscious to. Well, that's so weird though. Listen to me. I say I'm too self-conscious to work out in public, and yet the moment I get off my rowing machine or my elliptical torture device, either of those things, and looking at my absolute ruddy-faced, sweaty, greasy worst, and then I hop onto both Twitch and YouTube and broadcast from my strange little garage. So I don't really know why I can't just go to a gym, but it's also just I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to be distracted. I just want to get it over with, frankly. Like, this is the thing. Does anyone pretend to like this stuff? Like I hate it. I've done this 30 days in a row. So every single day for 30 days, I've got on this rowing machine. I think I started at like around 20 minutes, went to 25. I think today I did 44 minutes, which is actually pretty good for me. But that's murder. Like, it's just unpleasant. I've already walked the dog for an hour, so, it's just not, it's not fun. Twanu, bonjour to you. How are you, my friend? No wonder I've never got a stream in a long time. For some reason, it shows you as offline for my monitor program. Really? Well, maybe it's just more about my state of mind. Maybe I'm just basically offline from an intellectual standpoint. Oops, I just hit the microphone. David, you missed your food tease. Oh, what was it? I'm not sure I want a food tease right now. I'm trying to be good. What do we got? I'm looking up. What was the food tease? I'm looking it up. Xenos. What do we got? Xenos, welcome in Raiders. Oh, thank you for the rating. Yes, Dr. N, PhD. Thank you very much. No, I missed the food tease. What's the food tease? Xenos. I've never had banana bread. Always wanted to try. It's really good. If you get the right banana bread, it's really good. I like it with chocolate chips because it breaks it up a little bit. But Jane makes the most wonderful banana bread. Basically, whenever our bananas go horribly brown, we throw them in the freezer, and then Jane somehow manages to magically turn them into this bread that's just ridiculous. How's the weather for you? Colder, Jack. Hello, Jack, by the way. Jack Jasser, everyone. Someone else you should all be following. Yeah, it's a little chillier today, which I quite like. I'm going to have to bring out my fall wear. Speaking about fashion. So one of the people who I was speaking to this weekend, I've avoided the film festival as much as I possibly can. I can't stand the Toronto Film Festival. I'm sorry. I just find it pretentious and weirdly, like security tried to move us on while we're waiting for our friends to come out of the theater and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my, like, get over yourselves. Like, buzz off. Anyways, so not a huge fan of how, I don't know, it's become so gentrified and so uptight. I mean, look, maybe that's just my experience. Jane was laughing at me because she says that I am as uncomfortable not being the center of attention as I am when I am the center of attention. So, like, if I have a film in the festival, I am as squirmingly uncomfortable and grumpy about that as I am squirmingly uncomfortable about just being a civilian at this stuff, for want of a better term. I'd rather just be invisible. I saw Crispin Glover was literally in the way as I was trying to leave. And, and I thought, like, oh God, if I was a good networking actor guy, I would stop and say hi and stuff. But I'm like, I don't want to explain to him how we know each other. And I'm terrible about that stuff. So, oops, I forgot my desk's on wheels. Anyways, so I suck at all that stuff, and I just thought it was funny. Jane was just sort of quite amused at the fact that she goes, it's not even like you're jealous. It's just like, she goes, because you'd just be just as unpleasant if you were, on the red carpet. So I guess kind of a good sign, I suppose. I'm an equal opportunity complainer. Now, something I'm not going to complain about though is, oh baby, check out the Mark IV. This is the Mark IV right here. I haven't even set up the multi-filament yet, but this thing is... I was nervous. I will say this. I was nervous. I struggled a little bit with the build. There were a few things that I screwed up because I was not as careful as I should have been. I think this is the third Prusa that I built. I gave the other one to a Tech Bandit kid. But this is the third one that I built. So I think maybe I was a little cocky about it, but I had some issues with it, and I was like, oh God, I don't know, Prusa, are you doing the right thing? Because I've been lent this bamboo thing from a neighbor, and I've been sort of marveling at how wonderful this apple-like structure is. But I'll tell you, as soon as this thing started printing, I was like, oh yeah, okay, Prusa's king. Like, this thing is just, it was ridiculously fast, like just insanely fast, and the prints were gorgeous. I don't know. Do I have the print? I don't even have the print with me. I've done everything from printing, like floor protectors for cables, and I just did a clamp, which I think no, I've got it in the house. But just like like literally just like, I need this. Off it goes and it prints. It's just so freaking fast, and I can't wait to play with it. I want to get like a camera on it and stuff. I've been hacking my my Wise cameras because, frankly, reading about all the cybersecurity stuff and Pegasus and reading about all these just freaking just criminal breaches, in some cases criminal breaches. These companies are not looking after us. They're not looking after our privacy. They're not looking after our data. And then it's all like, oh, protect your passwords and look after your accounts and, batten down the hatches, shields up, and all this nonsense. The reality is the big companies that we pay big bucks to for their technology and for their services and stuff, they're the a-holes losing all of our data. I mean, what the hell's that? Like the largest breaches that I've seen are companies that collect our data, whether we want to or not, and then sell it to people for credit checks. I mean, what a freaking scam. I wish I'd thought of it, frankly. I'm just jealous. I should have thought of it myself. Anyways, can't recommend that enough. Prusa Mark IV, just like it is, it's just, I got nervous because it's not as pretty as that. I mean, that is a very pretty, that Carbon X1 is a pretty printer. And I got to say, I have really enjoyed using it. I will continue to use it as long as my neighbor doesn't need it back. I will, it's there, so I got to use it. But man, the Mark IV, I was like, yeah, Prusa, you're the best. I was so excited because I was really I said to Baz, I was like, dude, I'm worried. Like, we went to the Prusa factory and I love all the people who work there and I just love their whole approach to stuff. And, and I've been using the Mark III for years and it's just, the Mark III just wasn't as glam as this X Carbon thing. But man, the Mark IV is just, it's extraordinary. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I was worried that it was moving so fast that it was shaking this stupid little table I have. I have to build a new table, by the way. That's one of my new missions is to build a table that's going to support this better. Although I don't know what I'm going to do in the winter because it's already getting chilly. Very soon, none of these things will work because it'll be too cold in here. So I got to work out some kind of a heater or something because I don't want to go back inside. I like being out here. This is my space. Yeah, this is my little happy space right now. I'm getting a little nervous about having to freeze my butt off and not be able to do half the stuff I want to do, and so I gotta figure out some insulation and some heating in here. I'm wondering even about like possibly like blanketing off some section, like maybe just taking some like big sound blankets or something and just like building a wall here, like here behind me that's like cordoning off this section back here so it's a smaller space to heat, and that's also why I want a fire extinguisher because I just started hanging blankets and firing lasers and 3D printers not going to burn anything down, but I could be asking for trouble with all my little electronics experiments and my own and the wiring I've been doing around here. Some very questionable electrical wiring that I've been doing. I think it's safe. It's just maybe not particularly code-like. So I'm fine with you. With Children of MacGyver, we hope to be able to exhibit our full-size Stargate early 2025. Wow. Share a website, baby. Yeah. I'd love to hear about it. Full-size Stargate. Wow. Would it fit on my garage? Could I put like a Stargate on top of my garage? That'd be kind of fun. Although more than a Stargate, I need like another level. I should probably build another office and then put a Stargate on top of that. Get a foam extinguisher. A powder one will kill all of your electronics. Oh, that's good to know, Hank. Very good to know. I was looking at them. I was just going to get, there's some water-based ones. Honestly, at this point, if there's a fire, I just need to put it out. I don't think there's not a lot of stuff that's going to be, there's nothing other than my laptop and, I guess then the 3D printers and stuff. Yeah, no, you're right. Never mind. There's a lot of things to worry about. Foam. There you go. Is it functional? Of course it is. Of course that. Linux, of course that Stargate works. It's these French guys know what they're doing. Puddle jumper with sandwiches. Did someone say house fire? Yes, James R. Gurney, the master of house fires. There you go. Yeah, I bet you, Gimpy G, Lance has got some fire extinguishers hanging around the house now. Anonymous has caught us live. Yay! Tammy Packwood, foam board is good idea, Jonathan. Build a wall with foam insulation board. Brands here are Celotex and Kingspan. Yeah, I looked at that. I mean, you can get some pretty nice thick foam insulation stuff. That could be kind of fun, actually. It's not cheap, though, Jonathan. That stuff is like one of the biggest issues I have is I go, okay, so if I get a heater, you got to pay for the electrical to heat it. But if it's all just escaping, you're kind of wasting some money. At the same time, the insulation, there's basically no insulation. I've shoved some stuff up into some pink insulation up into the rafters, but that's not going to do it. I need to do a proper go at it. But it's one of those weird things that, like, during the summer, it's so hot in here that I don't want to be putting the insulation up. And then I usually wait a little too long. Then if it gets so cold, it's hard to do it as well. So, but I will, yeah, I've got to get on it. I have sort of a temporary roof thing on right now, which seems to be saving my bacon on the rain situation. It looks like it's dried out a lot of the section. I'm a little nervous that it might not last the winter. I'm concerned it might blow away if I don't stick it down, but it's not very, I don't know. The reality is I should get a new roof. And while I get the new roof, I should get it insulated. And I should probably throw a heater in here. But I'm still figuring stuff out. Still figuring out what I'm going to be when I grow up. I got a bunch of ideas, but yeah, still got to figure that out. We got insulation will keep it cooler though too a bit. Yeah, I mean, like I've insulated I don't know if you can see behind me. There's like I insulated the garage door, right? I put that all up myself. It was kind of fun. And that makes a huge difference because the sun would just bake that back door, and it was like you touch it, you'd be like, whoa. Now it's like cool to the touch, yeah. Yes, and then I have a little air conditioning unit that I saved from someone else's garbage. Where are they now? McKay, he's picking through your trash. Yeah, so I saved a unit there that I use all the time to keep this place cool, and it's been amazing. It's really made the place manageable during the winter. I don't know that it's going to last another year. It's literally held together by duct tape at this point, and it makes some horrendous noises and lights dim. Although not as much now because I put 2 extra circuits in here. I have a circuit board where I put 2 extra circuits in to sort of because right when up to the last God knows how long, I've had one 15-amp circuit running everything in my office, in my lair, in my cave, my lair cave. And lair cake makes me think of layer cake. Now I'm hungry. So I've added 2 more circuits and upped one of them to 20 amps so that it'll not throw a switch every time, or fit. It will not throw a hissy fit every time I turn on the AC and try to vacuum anything. So air conditioning in winter. Well, here's the funny thing is, I thought, could I take my old AC unit, put it outside, and then vent it back inside for the winter? Because that's basically a heat pump, right? I mean, the amount of heat that this thing generates to move outside using the AC, I wonder if it could just be used the other way to just funnel heat back in here. It probably would work. I just don't imagine it's terribly efficient, but I'd be curious to know if anyone's got any skills on that. Hey, it's the detectorist Dave. How are you, Dave? Who else we got here? Tammy, wonderful Tammy. Focus on lowering the ceiling or insulating the roof, then use a fan to blow warm air down. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I have some interesting fan systems here. In fact, I've just got a vent fan because I'm sort of concerned about the air quality in here as well. There's so much dust and stuff because I do a fair bit of building of shelves and woodworky stuff and a little bit of spray paint and then the laser. I like my laser. I think I need a more powerful laser. This one's not lasering as much as and I also need sharks to attach it to. So you'd always be moving air in or out of the building, so it has to escape somewhere. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I've got a vent thing that basically just that I'm going to attach to the roof as well. It's a heat pump. However, the portable ones don't recirculate the same air. Yeah, I mean so the concept is much the same. The AC is, I guess, compressing things that. Actually, how does it work? I mean, I got my head around it right now. But the idea that it's basically just venting. It's taking the hot out of the air and throwing it outside is basically what's happening with the heat pump and with an AC. And the hope is to get. I mean, what are heat pumps now? They're like in America, they're probably like $1,500, something like that. So here, that'd be probably about 10,000 Canadian dollars. But that would be great. I'd love to be doing that because that seems like a really smart way of just sort of maintaining a temperate temperature here. Because this is the thing, I don't need it particularly cold. I don't need it particularly hot. I just need it warm enough that my printers don't go like below operating temperature, shutting down, which is what happens to all of them. So Google refrigeration cycle. Oh, I have, Jonathan. I have. Yeah, I've been looking at a million heat pump things and AC stuff. It's kind of fascinating. It's just what's the, it's analysis paralysis. It's my amygdala going crazy and making it seem like if I make the wrong decision, it's twice as miserable for me than it really is. So I'm just gonna have to figure it out. I'm thinking about just maybe leaping in and getting one of these built-in. So basically, you cut a hole. I wouldn't put it there because that would annoy the neighbors. I'll put it maybe that side. Cut a hole, put the unit in there, and then just have the fan whirring away. In fact, I might even put it on the roof, in the back place of the roof. I might hold the roof down. It'll hold my roofing down. All right. Totally DIY-able. Yeah, that's it. Look, a mini split is the way. Yes, absolutely. Mini split, that's the term. I love the idea of a mini split. I love the idea of putting a mini split in. But there's still, it all adds up because you got the mini split, and then you go, okay, so I've got a mini split to keep the place cool or warm, depending on what it is. I've got the roof. I don't know. They keep telling me the roof needs to be replaced. I'm looking at the roof. I think it could be patched, and I have been patching it where I can. There's a chunk there that I'm so torn on whether I should actually pull it up or whether I should just put something over it for the time being. But it's just all more things to spend money on, right? And unfortunately, there's always exciting things to spend money on. Like there's like I have to become like a YouTuber that just gets sent stuff. I think that's the key. So if I could just get sent things all the time to play with, I'd be very happy. That could be like my everyday's bag of squirrels would just basically be me opening something that some company had sent me and making tons of money doing it. I've been watching a lot of YouTube stuff right now. I'm just like fantasy of becoming an old YouTuber. You are a genuine dude, David. Thank you very much, Organic Recreations. Thanks for being real. Wishing you and yours much wellness and hope you're having lots of fun with life. I am indeed. I am certainly having a lot of fun with life. Thank you, Organic. That's very sweet of you to say. AP Kilby, I would imagine cost would be a factor too, not just the initial outlay, but also the running cost. Yeah, I mean, this is the electricity side of stuff. I'll tell you what I'd love. I would love to do geothermal. I'd love to dig up the garden and just lay down a whole bunch of stuff and use that. And I think if we ever move back to England where I get a pig and a tractor, that's my goal. Do like a Clarkson's Farm return to England. And if I could do that, I would be very excited about that because that seems like a very sort of environmentally smart, cost-effective way to go. In Toronto, I think it's going to be a little harder to do that kind of thing. I think you could maybe do the deep digs, but again, getting the things dug is the cost there as well. But David, aren't you already an old YouTuber? I guess I am, Zenos. That's so true. You're right. That's what I'm doing. I'm literally that. Okay, what do we got? Anonymous says, Vivo Sun 4-inch inline duct fan, 100 CF, HVAC, exhaust ventilation with no. Can I just show you something? I'm just going to get something for you right now. Watch this. It's plugged in. Damn it. Not anymore, you're not. Oh, God. There we go. I think I literally have exactly the fan you're talking about. I freaking love this fan. I almost don't want to mount it anywhere because I just so enjoy moving it around places. It is the most quiet thing the most quiet fan that I've ever experienced. I originally bought it because what I wanted to do was what we're talking about doing here. I wanted to do in the house because for some reason people who don't know what they're talking about like to be, work as contractors. Our latest woman was amazing. I adored her. She was fantastic. And her crew were great. But we had some people in who decided that we didn't need one of the intakes for our AC. And of course, that was the thing that would have taken hot air from the top of the house and dumped it in the basement. And so I'm actually looking at ways, and so they literally removed one of the vents. So one of the big intake vents from upstairs, the top floor of our three floor house, it's just blocked off. So what I wondered about doing is maybe building like an insulated return on the outside of the house, because the air upstairs gets so hot in the summer or the winter that it could easily heat the basement. And then during the summer, the beautiful cool air at the sub-ground level basement could easily cool our basement, our attics. That's what has the most confusing. This is why I don't do tutorials. But yeah, and so I would love to figure that out, because trying to build the reason why they got rid of it was because it would be ugly. It would be ugly to have a big return vent in our main floor. So they thought, okay, well, we'll just get rid of it. What do you need it for? And we're like, well, do we need it? They're like, no, you're fine. You don't need that. So of course, but we noticed it a lot, because especially what I wanted to originally do was to take something like this, a nice little quiet inline fan like this, and just pump air either up or back depending on what the temperature was. So it's pretty cool. When you have the farm site, you can go nuts. The mini digger. I know, Jonathan, I'm not even sure how mini it'll be, because I figure we sell the house in Toronto, we sell up the house in Toronto, or maybe we rent it out. I don't know what we do. I'm not sure yet. It depends what the girls want to do. If the girls are still, need a place in Toronto, then I don't want to get rid of the house. But the girls being my nieces, by the way, who are right now living in my lair in the basement, just so you know. Yeah, they've got a lovely little condo downstairs, and I'm out in here with my garage full of rats. And I don't resent it at all. I actually really don't resent it at all. I really quite enjoy this. I originally used to try to keep it clear so people could park here if they needed to. And then I was like, you know what? Screw that. You want to drive a car? I don't have a car. You want to drive a car? You can park on the street. So I started, all of a sudden you get so much extra space when you say, okay, I'm just not going to open that door. I mean, I don't want to seal that door up, because I feel like that would be a mistake, but like I can still open and close it. But the idea that you're not going to open and close it, oh my God, all of a sudden I can lean things against it. I feel like I got a whole other room out of it. So it's pretty great. I've become Mr. Landlord. That's it. I'm going to become a slum landlord. That's what I'll do. I mean, the funny thing is everyone talks about how you make money. And I'll say this over and over again. Like, the most money we made on any investments we've made are on the house. I mean, the houses we bought have made us more money and given us a better nest egg than just about anything else. I mean, apart from the fact that once you're in the union, various acting unions, they automatically put money aside for you they automatically deduct money from your paychecks for your pension and retirement fund. So I've self-directed that. I don't want someone else looking after where my money would be invested for the future. And so that's been great. And then in Canada, and we're grandfathered in now because it doesn't exist anymore, but you could basically take your retirement fund and apply it to your mortgage. So you're basically lending yourself your RSP, as we call it here, registered retirement plan. You basically lend yourself your retirement money that you pay back as a mortgage to yourself. And I don't know why the bank likes doing it. I guess probably because once you're in the bank, they can sell you on credit cards and all sorts of other stuff, which they did, of course. But as a result, I have a mortgage to myself or to my future self. So basically, our mortgage payments go to pay back the retirement fund that I have. So by the time I retire, we will have not only had, we'll basically have invested any interest that we pay ourselves from our mortgage goes back. It's a brilliant system, and Jane is a freaking wizard or warlock or witch of financing, and that's why she's the crazy, amazing film producer, and everyone should hire her. But don't hire her too much because I like having her around, so don't keep her too busy. Speaking of busy, I got to go. I got to get myself all dolled up for a concert. I'm going to see a concert in Toronto with my son, and of bands who I haven't thought of for a very long time. We're going to go see Weezer, and I'm very excited about seeing Weezer, but I think I'm almost more excited for the opening bands, which are Dinosaur Jr. and the Flaming Lips. I freaking love the Flaming Lips. They got that song about the robot and saving people. Oh my God, this I cannot freaking wait for this. So I better go. I haven't really talked to anyone online. I'm so sorry. I haven't really got into your chat that much. I've been pontificating. But basically, in a nutshell, my bag of squirrel lifestyle continues. Go see Seth Worley's sketch when you get a chance. It's lovely. Get yourself a Prusa and Mark IV. They're fabulous. And also building the kit makes you just feel like a freaking superhero. Makes you feel like an Iron Man. And what else? And expect lots of HVAC videos coming up. And and I've just done 30 freaking days on a rowing machine. 30 days! I'm a machine! I'm not a machine. I feel as horrible as I did the day I started. But there's a certain amount of, from just sort of like yes, I feel slightly proud of myself for doing, I've been doing this every single day for 30 days. Does that mean I get a day off now? Does that mean I get to take off tomorrow? I think I said, Baz, I've done a month of exercise on this thing. And he said, great, do 2. And then Jane said, why would you stop? I'm like, it's not much. I don't think that's the point, anyways, all right. I am babbling like a freaking idiot. So I'm going to say, Sean Connery, woohoo. You're gonna be working like Sean Connery until you're 90. I hope so. That'd be nice. Hopefully I'll make more sense, but maybe be slightly less abrasive to people. Although who knows? I probably will be actually now I think about it. Everybody, thank you very much. Like I say, huge shout out to Gippy G. Go check out Gippy G. Fabulously hilarious individual that you definitely want to keep in touch with. James R. Gurney, he's fabulous at burning houses down, stealing followers, and also, you know what? You might learn an F of a lot as well. Dr. NP, was it MTH? I can't remember what his thing was, but again, another amazing stream to follow. And Cal, thank you very much. Jack Jasra. I can't think of it. There's too many people. Too many Tammy. There's like too many. Jonathan. There's too many people. That's like, yeah, whatever. It's just a giant love fest here. I got to go shower. Till we geek again, I'll say, be brave, be kind, be brilliant. And be achy and sore like me because you exercise for 30 days straight. Woohoo! All right. Woo! Eyes like a body's hot, body holly. Woo. That's Weezer, by the way. That's what I'm going to go see. Flaming Lip. Oh, you should have seen her. She won't let those evil robots win. Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait. It's going to be good. I get to go to a concert with my son. Woohoo! All right, get out of here. I'm out of here. I got to find the button.